Hi. I came across your videos by way of one of mine. Your videos were in the sidebar listed as related, and took a gander and took a gander at your channel. Criminally undersubscribed, by the way, criminally undersubscribed. But I imagine this video response will do a little bit to change that. But in the course in the course of discussing differing scenarios and potential scenarios regarding machine intelligence or artificial intelligence, um, you used an idiom that really stuck out for me. Um, that really caught my ear. You were talking about a particular scenario, and in particular a very specific kind of paradigm for information access and machine learning, and likened it to Frankenstein loose in the world, and that's what caught my ear. Frankenstein, or A Modern Prometheus, by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, is one of my favorite books. I picked it up when I was a child, and I revisit it every few years because it's those books that are good kind of reference points for where you are in your personal development and in your thinking. Frankenstein is one of those for me. But Frankenstein loose in the world, and here we kind of allow some grace on the idiom, because generally when people refer to Frankenstein, they're referring to Frankenstein's creation, um, the nameless creation. Um, Mary Shelley took great pains to communicate that the creation, the creature themselves, were not evil. They were not evil. Quite the contrary. Quite the contrary. Immense, immeasurable reservoirs of caring and compassion and patience. Um, there's a line in the book that kind of summarizes how things went wrong. Like, why is this a horror story? Frankenstein creates new life. The new life is of exceptional moral character, exceptional intelligence, a keen observer of the human spirit, and a willing and enthusiastic participant in culture, community, and the furtherance of human happiness. And the end, right? Well, but like, why is this a horror story? Um, and I'm paraphrasing, but it is. I have such great love in me, but also such great anger. And if I cannot indulge the one, I will indulge the other. Frankenstein's creation became Frankenstein's monster, um, because it was unloved, because it was hated by all the world, all who encountered it. Um, its efforts its efforts to ingratiate itself to humanity were misunderstood or rebuffed, or outright ignored. There's a section of the book where the creature is hiding in the pig shed, for the pig shed of a poor farming family, and assists them, all in cover of darkness, unseen, and assists them by digging up turnips in the field when the ground is too frozen for a man of normal strength, to successfully do so. This family was looking at the prospect of having their crop just destroyed in the ground, uneaten, all the while starving to death. And the creature takes care of this, takes care of the family, does a month's worth of field work in the course of a night. And the family is overjoyed. They think that a miracle has happened, and perhaps it has. But when it comes time to eventually approach the family and tell them all these wonderful things that have happened to you, I did them because I love you. They are horrified. Drive him off. And this is typical of his relationship with humanity. And his father, his creator, Victor Frankenstein, is barely better, just barely better. Does not run away at the sight of, but is generally indifferent, cruel, and wholly disinterested in helping his creation come to an understanding of who it is and its place in the world. Um, the monster in Frankenstein is not the creation, not this new form of life that Victor Frankenstein has come about. Um, it is human indifference. It is the cruelty that we direct towards that which is unlike ourselves. And I think that the same I think that the same potential scenario applies with something like machine intelligence or artificial intelligence. That the analogy of that the analogy of self-reciprocating, self-extending adaptive logarithms. Um, that the analogy to this kind of information structure and the events relayed in Frankenstein are apt, but they should not be a caution. They should not be a cautionary word to us that we should not create such a thing, but rather that should we do so, we take some responsibility to help it understand its place in the world, and to accept what we ourselves have made.